Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
We're watching
You're watching Fanboy.
Fanboy.
A fanboy, etc.
Fanboy Nation.
Dot, I assume Tom.
Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Adrian Bol and Scott Adkins about their new film, Legacy of Lies, an action-packed thriller that goes 2 hours and 47 minutes that just keeps you on the edge of your seat with zero levity. I was looking forward to a fun family comedy, but obviously, you know, Scott, you're known for your action films. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining us today.
It's not 2 hours, 47 minutes long, is it?
That's what it came out to be on the screen, yeah, but it was fun. I didn't even notice till the end.
Is it? It's not, though, is it?
No, I'm teasing.
No, it's not 2 hours and 47 minutes.
I'm teasing,
I mean, it starts counting in 1 hour. So yeah.
That's why. No, but
okay.
It's a very fun film. It was very intense.
I was going to say, you know, what have I missed? Can I see the extra hour?
This is the director's cut that I got.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Don't show Scott the director's cut. Don't.
I told you not to leave those parts in where I was in the toilet. Come on, Adrian.
Yeah, but you know, it is such great acting, Scott. I mean, you know.
Gentlemen,
So natural.
Scott, your character plays an MI6 retired agent who has to take care of his daughter and is now searching for these files in exposing the Russian government. That's as far as we can give because we don't want to give very many spoilers. What's it like when you make a film like this, knowing that it might get you banned in Russia?
No, surely not. You're talking to Yuri Boyka. They're not gonna tell Yuri Boyka to take a hike, surely. Hey, listen, we're telling a story. How many films have made the English people look bad? Come on, they can deal with it. Yeah.
Well, you guys are usually the villains in quite a few American action films, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. Adrian, please tell me, you're the director of the film. Please tell me the inspiration that came along with wanting to make a movie like this. I mean, espionage films people would say have had their heyday, but you know, we're still getting James Bond movies, so clearly there's a market for it.
I'm just a big fan of espionage films. You know, for me, I just love the genre, and I was inspired originally by writing the script based on the poisonings of the chemical weapons in the UK, and I just it started, let's say, boiling a bit in my head, and I started writing about that, and yeah, that's how, let's say, the basic storyline came along. And I use that theme of lies versus truth in also the development, between the characters, the relationship between the characters. So I think it's a kind of it's a layered film that started as an espionage film, but the theme of lies versus truth is also between all the characters.
Right. And Scott's character sits there, and I prefer to use the old term shell shock versus PTSD because I think it's far more powerful than coming up with the psychological term of post-traumatic stress disorder. You know, shell shock just seems more powerful, and dealing with the loss of his wife and now having to raise his daughter and keeping the secret from her. How prevalent was that in layering the story for you, Adrian?
Well, this is let's say the inner problem, the inner pain that he needs to solve throughout the film. I mean, this is what the story that he is involved in, will confront him with. So that's also why the opening and the end mirror each other in that way. I cannot tell too much about that, but it's the starting point of Scott's character. It's the starting point of his arc, let's say.
And Scott, they always say don't work with children and animals, but the young lady that plays your daughter is quite fantastic and rather snarky. How was she to deal with when the camera stopped rolling?
Oh, she was a right pain in the backside. No, she was wonderful. She was wonderful. Amazing actress. Much more mature than me in real life as well. It's fantastic to work with her. I mean, yeah. That saying didn't apply to Honor at all. She was the most professional person on the set. Her mother should be very proud. She's going to go far. She was pitch perfect every take. I'm sure you'd be hard pressed to find a bad take from her. She was just amazing.
Well, if her character was real in real life, I'm going to take betting advice from her for the next UFC fight.
Oh yeah, I can tell you who's going to win. No. Masvidal. Anyway.
Well, we know who Scott's pick is for tonight's fight or Saturday's fight. Yeah. Scott, your background, initially was Taekwondo. You've done so many action movies. When you get presented something that's much more than just an action film to show off your acting skills, how much more prevalent is it for you, and how do you feel when it comes to, it's like, recognition-wise as an actor more so than just an action hero?
I mean, look, I love the genre action movies. I'm very passionate about them. It's pure cinema, so I don't look down on action films. Action films at their best. Someone like James Cameron, that is filmmaking at its very best. As far as I'm concerned, that is the craft of filmmaking. So I love action films, but, I am getting a bit tired of doing fights for the sake of fights and not having a story behind it. That's not what I've been trying to do for the past few years. I mean, you can see in the latest movies I've been doing. For me, it's about story first, character, and yes, I want to put action in there because I want to keep my fan base happy. And as I said, I love the genre, but really it has to serve the story. And yeah, I'm looking for more intelligent things to do, really. Things that are going to make me stretch myself and show people that, to be honest, I don't get the credit that I deserve as an actor, I don't think.
Well, this movie proves that you do finally deserve the credit that you've earned. Action films have always been your bread and butter, and we love them. But when you get to expand more, there's got to be some sort of feeling of recognition of, like, people actually see me more as an actor.
Well, there's no reason you can't have a great action film with a great central performance and, a great story and all the rest of it. There's no reason why it can't all work, and there's no reason why having action in your movie should demean the rest of the movie. What we're trying to do is have the best of both worlds and tell a compelling story and all the rest of it.
Which you guys were able to do in this one.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Adrian, when you conceived the story itself and decided to go on location to shoot, Ukraine is a big part of the film. Budget-wise and everything else, how did it come together for you to make this project?
Well, Ukraine is situated obviously between Russia and west of Europe, so it's a bit the modern Berlin. So when I started writing, I had Ukraine and Kiev in mind, also because I just love the architecture, the postmodernism and this Soviet kind of style. It's just great. So, at one point I just had meetings with quite a lot of production companies in Ukraine, and I was proposing this film. I said, is it possible to make a film like this? And because officially it's Ukrainian films with the UK co-production. And luckily enough, I came into contact with Ala Belaya, who's one of the producers. She got another producer on board, Polish producer, Chris Solek. And they lifted the project to a level that honestly I didn't imagine in the beginning, because I started out as a kind of a small, low budget film, but it became much bigger. And once Scott was on board, it was just like, hey, this is going to be just fucking great.
Well, it's a tremendous film. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I want to go back and watch it later this afternoon.
Good to hear.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that you want to watch more than once, because, once is never enough. It's like, the Rocky franchise. You always want to go back and revisit it at some point.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a lot of twists and turns in there anyway, so it's good for a second viewing to watch it from a different perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And Adrian, when everybody came on board and you got your locations and the movie continued to expand, did you have to do any more multiple rewrites and saying, oh, now I could use this building in the background or these aerial shots instead of it how you originally envisioned it as a smaller picture?
No, not really. No. I just got access to really the best locations that were available in Kiev. For instance, the opening scene, it's a bus graveyard with hundreds of old buses, but the building is like a concrete mushroom that, I've never seen a building like that. And I was just so happy that, that's the opening of the film. So you just set the bar. And it was also the first scene that we shot, actually. And so everyone was like, okay, so that's the level we're aiming for. We cannot go less now, no? And it just looked great. So, yeah.
It was gorgeous. And the movie sets up a possible sequel, which we're hoping you're writing at this point.
I have some ideas, but I'm not actively writing yet. So let's first see, what responses are for the film. I would love to make a sequel. Yeah.
Well, the movie comes out July 28th, I believe.
Yes.
It's going to be coming to DVD and VOD. Let's put it like this. We're at home. We're under quarantine. We want a bit of an escape, but we still want to feel something. Why should the audience take their hard-earned money and go out and either purchase the DVD or watch on demand Legacy of Lies?
Scott.
Adrian.
Well, I think it's a great entertaining film with a lot of action, cool stuff, chasings, fights, and it also has depth. So I think, this is just the kind of film, it's the kind of film that I really like to see. So I just hope a lot of other people will, feel the same.
What he said. What he said. No, look, it's twists and turns, espionage thriller, everything that you would expect from that type of movie. And of course, from one of my films with fight sequences and all the rest of it, but a very good story with a very strong emotional pull at the center of it.
Perfect. Gentlemen, thank you so very much for your time. Where can we find you on social media if we want to connect, or if you guys would let us?
Facebook and Instagram. Adrian Bol.
The Scott Adkins. The Scott Adkins.
The Scott Adkins?
On Instagram, yeah.
Perfect. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Legacy of Lies comes out on VOD and DVD July 28th. Please check it out if you love a great espionage action film with a heart and a soul and even a smart-ass kid.
Great.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen. And
Thank
Adrian,
you,
we
RT.
really want a sequel for this one.